Introducing the Open Palm Podcast with host Jerome Shaw, available today on your favorite podcast platforms. The Open Palm Podcast is a positive, uplifting, motivational, and inspirational podcast. The host brings his insight and philosophy, and you can't help but gravitate towards his smile, his words, and his wisdom. Again, the podcast he hosts is titled The Open Palm Podcast. It's about inspirational messages, motivating themes, and thought-provoking ideas and topics. He'll also help you become more aware and in harmony with your own life, giving you a better understanding of your place in the world and using your skills accordingly, greeting the world with an open palm instead of a closed fist. You can find the show today on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and more. You can also connect with the host on Instagram at Jerome Shaw. That's JROMESHAW on Instagram. Jerome Shaw with the Open Palm Podcast. Motivation, meditation, mentality. Go listen, download, and subscribe today.
A Zen disciple approached his teacher. "Master, I have an uncontrollable temper. Can you help me overcome it?" That's strange. Can you show it to me?" asked the master. "Not right now." "Why not?" "It occurs suddenly." "Then it cannot be a part of your true nature," said the master. "If that were the case, you wouldn't have any difficulty to showing it. Why do you allow something that isn't yours to worry you?" Thereafter, the master's words would come back to the student whenever his temper rose. Soon, he learned to check his anger and developed a placid temperament. What can you gather from this story, my friend? This story of the Zen disciple and the teacher. The Zen disciple labeling his temper as uncontrollable. Have you ever done this to yourself? Saying to yourself or admitting to yourself that there's just no help, there's just no hope. You have something that's just uncontrollable, that's just inevitable, that just cannot be changed. But by saying this, do we make it that much more difficult on ourselves? How can we overcome something that we deem is uncontrollable, that we deem cannot be overcome? But by thinking in the way of this master in the story, by not labeling these things as uncontrollable, or seeing that they can be controlled at times, understanding that these are not part of our true nature. Why do we allow things to worry us or allow things to control us when they can be in our control? Whenever a temper is rising, we can just as easily let it fall back in its place. If by only changing our perspective to saying that this thing is not a part of my true nature, but it is something that I have deemed uncontrollable, and because I have deemed it so, I have the power to change it. Thank you for listening, my friend. This has been Jerome Shaw on TOP, the Open Palm Podcast here in San Antonio, Texas. I pray you received an encouraging message, letting you know that whatever traits you have in your character, or whatever emotions you go through, whatever temperaments you display, it is all a choice. And just as you have the choice to choose whether or not you exhibit such displays of anger or of sadness, or of joy, or of happiness? You have the choice not to. May you never be deceived by yourself into thinking that the choice has not always been yours. Share this episode with a like-minded individual who is learning and growing, becoming their greatest version each day, just like you, being all that they can be in every possible way. Pay it forward so more can hear the message. And if this is your very first time receiving this podcast, thank you for listening, my friend. Welcome to the Open Palm. Consider subscribing for more inspirational messages like this. And if you feel compelled to support, you can open your browser to anchor.fm/jshaw, and clicking the supporting link there is much appreciated. Big shout out and thank you to all the wonderful supporters who continue to donate to the podcast, making it possible for episodes like this. Have a wonderful and blessed day or night, wherever you are. And as always, take care. Hey there, my friend. So you've heard about Anchor, but do you know why it's the easiest way to make a podcast? Well, first off, it's free. It allows you to use creation tools that let you record your podcast right from your phone or computer. It also distributes your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more platforms. You can even make money from your podcast with minimum listenership. It's everything you need in one place. Download the free Anchor app today or go to anchor.fm to get started. Can't wait to hear yours. Let's see what you have to offer the world.